All right, I think we're live. What's going on, chat? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to my Pakistan expedition series. This is day 4 of training for Pakistan. I can't believe we already made it to the end. Well, almost made it to the end of our first week. Today we're going to be focusing on glutes and core. Unpopular opinion, but I don't really want to grow my lower body too much, but I'll speak more on that as we're going through the exercises. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Gillian. I'm a solo female traveler living in Thailand, and this summer I'll be going on the biggest expedition and the most ambitious trip of my entire life. I will be trekking the Himalayas of Pakistan, so I am documenting my training as I prepare for this adventure, and I'm using the streams to hold myself accountable. For those of you who are here for motivation, I want you to join with me, and we'll train together. We'll hold each other accountable. So we're going to do a little warm up and warm up the glutes and the core. So definitely got to get a good stretch in. Chat, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. We're focusing on glutes and core today, so drop a peach emoji in the chat if you're with me. As I was saying, unpopular opinion, but I don't really want to grow my lower body so much. I know, that's what everybody wants, right? But I feel like as a woman, my lower body just grows exponentially, and it grows so fast. Where with my upper body, it's so much more of a journey to get those gains and increase that strength. So I really try to stay away from lower body movements, but I know I still need to train them. So on booty days, we're going to be focusing on glute isolation exercises, because I really want to stay away from anything that is going to grow my quads, right? Because I feel like my quads just blow up so fast, man. I don't understand it. So all the movements that we go through on booty days, they will be glute isolation movements. So I'd like to try to grow my glutes, but not my legs. But I am new to training my glutes and these glute isolation movements. So any feedback from you guys in the chat would be great. I'm looking for that form correction here, right? But I'd like a bit of a bigger booty, but without the big chunky legs. I don't want my legs to look too bulky. Just a personal preference. I guess it's an aesthetic thing. And also I do notice that when my lower body grows, it's much harder to find clothes that fit you properly. So glute isolation is what we're going to be focusing on. Let's warm up the core a little bit, because we'll be doing glutes and core, right? I like to sprinkle that in. Just like on upper body and core days, we're going to alternate between core exercise and glute exercise. Chat, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. This is day 4 of holding each other accountable. If you're in the chat, just drop where you're tuning in from, so I know where my viewers are from all over the world, right? I'm originally from New York City, but I quit the rat race and I moved halfway across the world to Thailand. Best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Just warming up the glutes. All right. Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining. We're going to get right into it now. We're going to start with a core exercise. I'm going to take this med ball. It's 4 kg. And I guess you would call this exercise like a hollow rocker, but we're, of course, spicing it up by holding 4 kg between our feet. I got 1 minute on the clock. Once again, struggling to speak while I do this. You got to make sure that you squeeze the med ball super tight, otherwise it's going to just roll up in your face. 20 more seconds, chat. I should really be rocking higher. This ball is going to roll. Whew. All right, round 1 done. That was 1 minute on the clock. So we finished the warm-up already. We did about a 6-minute warm-up. Now I'm getting into the actual workout. I basically do 10 stations. I do 10 stations, 2 rounds each, 1 minute each round. And I'm going to alternate between core exercise and glute exercise today. So that was round 1. Oh, okay. Bye, Michael. Have a good night. I know it's late for you. I'll see you next time, Michael. All right, so that was round 1 of station 1. We're going to go for round 2 now. We got 1 minute on the clock. 25 seconds, chat. All right. Whew. First station done. That was our first core exercise. Got to move on to a glute exercise next. All right, I see Michael left. Michael's from the US, so it's 12:20 a.m. in the United States right now, so I know it's late for him. All right, chat, let's move on to a glute exercise. And those of you who have joined before know that while I'm working out, I won't be engaging in the chat while I'm actually doing the exercises, but in between sets, I'm coming to see what you guys have to say. If you're there, drop a peach emoji. We're gonna do some weighted glute bridges with a booty band. This is a heavy booty band. I'm gonna use a 14 kg weight. Let me make sure this is, all right, that should be good. I'm gonna place this on my hips. Let me check the time. 1 minute on the clock. And what you wanna do, chat, is squeeze and hold at the top. But like I said, I am new to glute isolation movements because I used to just avoid the lower body at all costs. So any feedback in the chat, I'm all for it. Please correct my form. I don't want to be wasting my time in the gym. I don't want to be wasting my time training. I want to be doing it right. So all right, chat, that was 1 minute. Take a break now. If I take a break, you take a break. Chat, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. This is day 4. It's our booty day. We're focusing on glutes and core. So if you're there, drop where you're from in the chat. Also, you can just drop a peach emoji in honor of booty day to let me know you're there. We got 1 minute on the clock, chat. Let's go. Squeeze and hold. If you're new here, my apologies for all the noises that come out of me as I train because they are not cute. They are not cute at all. But I've said this in the past few days and I'll say it again. I'm not here to make training look or sound cute. I'm not here to make it look or sound pretty because this is real and raw, and you know, training is not always polished. You don't look perfect, you don't sound perfect. The struggle is real. Oh, we already passed our 1 minute. I'm over here. yapping, not looking at the time. It's okay, a little extra credit. A little extra credit never hurt anybody. All right, Chad, I'm gonna come check out who's there, what we got to say. All right, I see some new viewers. Let me know who you are, where you're tuning in from. If you're training with me or you're just here for motivation. If you just joined, we're here training for Pakistan. I'll be going on the most ambitious trip of my life in July. I'll be trekking through the Himalayas of Pakistan, and that's what I'm training for. I decided on Monday I was going to document the process. I got to get my strength up. I got to get my stamina up. I got to get my endurance up, because I'll be hiking through really high altitudes for long hours with a heavy backpack on my back, and I got to go into it prepared. So thanks for joining me on this journey. All right, so that was one core exercise, one glute exercise. We're going to go into another core exercise, a rotational movement, right? For those of you who have been tuning in the past few days, rotational movements are a big part of my training. So we're going to do that with the 4 kg med ball. Usually, let's see what happens. Usually during this exercise, I drop the ball a lot because my arm just isn't big enough to hold it, but we're going to find out. So what I do is I'm going to hug the ball like so, and we're going to rotate. My arm is just not big enough to hold this comfortably, but no excuses. "20 more seconds, chat. Then we get a 10-second rest." One more. All right, chat, take 10 seconds, and then we'll do the other side. That was my good side. My left side. As you know, I'm a lefty. All right. Let's get ready for round 2. If you started on the left, move to the right side. If you start on the right, move to the left side. All right, let me set up. Hard to see the clock in this position. Chat, I'll be checking all your comments after this set. What time we got? Oh no, haven't made it to a minute yet. That should do it. Yep. All right, chat. Let's see what you got to say. All right, that was station number 3. Our second core exercise. We're going to move on to a glute exercise. We're going to do some kickbacks. I think that's what you would call them, with the booty band. Okay. So let me get my heavy booty band. We're going to just do some kickbacks. Let's start with the right side. All right, 1 minute on the clock, chat. For these exercises, this is where I know I really need feedback from you guys. I definitely need my form to be corrected on exercises like this. Really try to hold and squeeze at the top. Ten seconds, chat. Then we get a 10-second break. All right. Whew. I really felt that. I really felt that in my glutes. I really want that upper glute. We're going to build that shelf, right? Trying to build the shelf, trying to build the table, trying to build something that you could eat dinner on, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, 1 minute on the clock. I'll take any feedback on my form here. Again, the goal is build the glutes, not the legs, right? Definitely not the quads. Last year, when I was training at the gyms here in Phuket, taking all the classes, right? I think I tried every gym on the island, trying to find what I was looking for. The coaches wouldn't listen to me when, I told them I didn't want to build my legs and that my legs grow way too fast. And they were like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm the one who's lived in this body for 36 years. I know how my body changes. I know how my body reacts to things. All right, take a break, chat. And my lower body last year actually was huge. It really was huge. I lost a lot of that muscle mass because I started doing my own training and didn't focus on all those lower body movements that a lot of the coaches focus on here. And I also went through something personal where I lost my entire appetite. So I did lose a lot of weight. So it was a combination of training and trauma. But I definitely don't want I definitely don't want to grow back all of that muscle mass. Just trying to focus on glute isolation. So we're going to move on to our next core exercise. We're going to be using the ab wheel. Let me see, where's the best place for me to do this? I guess we can go right here. I think you might be able to see me in the frame when I extend, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. All right, chat, we got 1 minute on the clock. Make sure you round your back. I may be cut out of the frame here, but if I am, I'll consider that a lesson learned. Chad, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. Don't mind the way I sound right now. This is day 4. We're focusing on glutes and core. 10 more seconds, chat. Then we get a 10-second break. All right, take 10 seconds, guys. And then you're gonna take a walk with me because we're gonna have to move around the gym for the second half of this training session. Everything looks good. I did set up a few things before I started the stream, but I didn't know if they were still there. All right, let's go round 2. We got 1 minute on the clock. Chat, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. We're on day 4. Today's training is focused on glutes and core. Drop where you're tuning in from in the chat. And let me know, are you here for motivation? Are you here to train with me? Are you here to support me? Oh, we went way over our set. Let me put this away. All right, chat, I'm gonna put my resistance on my booty band away because this is mine. This is not the gym's. I don't want somebody taking it and using it. Something about sharing bands is just a little gross to me, right? Like, these are like a canvas type of fabric. The thought of somebody else's sweat is really gross to me. Come take a walk with me. We're gonna move stations. Let me just see. All right, we're gonna move stations. We're gonna do some, what do you call them? Glute thrusts, hip thrusts, hip thrusts. That's what they're called. Let's see how I can. All right, that should work, chat. Let me just get the box. Again, for this upcoming exercise, I need your feedback, chat. I really, really do. I need your feedback because training the glutes is something that's really new to me. All right. I got it. All right, chat. We are going to do some hip thrusters. I have 5 kg on both sides. Not too heavy, right? Because I'm not trying to have my lower body get huge or anything like that. So let me check the clock. All right. I think I remember a coach saying not to look all the way up, to kind of look diagonally on this. I'm pretty sure that's what he said to me. This was back at the gym in Brooklyn. Again, trying to hold and squeeze at the top. We got 20 seconds on the clock. Sorry, chat. I'm in deep focus. Okay. That was round 1 done. This is exercise 6 of 10, station 6 of 10. We got one of my favorite core exercises after this one. All right, guys. 1 minute on the clock. Round 2. So, like, I'm not sure if my elbows are supposed to be on the box like this. So that is something I need feedback on because I'm not sure if I'm doing this. Let me make sure I turn out my feet. I remember one of my old coaches telling me that. Trying to hold and squeeze at the top. Trying to build that shelf. 15 seconds on the clock. All right. All right, station 6 done. Not so graceful getting out of this station, but you know. All right, I'm gonna turn you around. Let me lower this. We're gonna use this bench right here. Guys, it's so quiet in the gym. I have no idea why they don't have the music going. Let me grab my water. Well, let me grab the weight first. We're gonna take an 8 kg weight. I'm gonna place this right here. And I'm just gonna grab my water and then we're gonna get started. This is station number 7. All right, so we got another rotational movement. Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna kick that. Wouldn't know what to call this, chat, but all right, we got 1 minute on the clock. I'm gonna rotate. Thirty seconds, chat. Where is the music? I do not like the silence. Oh. All right. Oh. All right, now we got to do the other side. I'm definitely trying to rotate more on this. I like this one because I feel like it works out the core and like your hip abductors as well. $25 more seconds. Station number 7. Last one. Okay. All right, let me put this away. Yeah. Oh, no, you can take it. Sorry. All right, guys, you're gonna come take a walk with me. Oop, sorry about that. All right, we're gonna move on to this machine, the hip abductor machine. Let's see what would the best view of this be. I guess right here is good. Let me grab my water, chat, and I'll BRB. All right, that was 7. This is gonna be 8. And then we got 2 more after this, which I already had planned in advance, but the machine might be in use right now, but we'll see. If not, I'm gonna just ask. All right, so let me rotate these around. Again, this is something that I definitely need form correction on this, because I never know, am I sitting too far up? Am I sitting too far back? I know I'm not supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be leaned over. Should my knees be aligned with the pads? Also, weight-wise, I think, yeah, that's good. This is 28 kg. What makes the most sense to me is that my knees are not overextended. My knees would be so far off the pads. I think my knees should be aligned with the pads, but I'm never sure if I should be sitting further up on the seat. So if you know what the correct way to do this is, let me know. I think it should be something like this, but let's see, we got 1 minute on the clock, guys. Right, and I try to hold out and slowly come back in. Right, I'm pretty sure I should be leaning forward like this. I've watched Pete's videos enough to see what the position was. I'm just not sure if my knees are in the right position. All right, I gotta be doing this right because I'm feeling it. 15 seconds. Again, I just want to make sure that I am not growing my legs. Just trying to isolate the glutes here. All right, rest. Nice, my exercise ring closed, but we're not finished yet. We got 2.5 more stations. All right, let's go. 1 minute on the clock. And then we got a break, chat, because we're gonna have to take a walk again. And we might have to have a talk because I see somebody using the machine that I need. There are 2 sides to it. Just want to make sure it's okay with them. That squeeze back in that shit burns. I know I'm going to be feeling this tomorrow, chat. 15 seconds on the clock. Oh yes, I think this guy is moving. I'm gonna have to make a run for it. All right, that does it. Chat, let's go claim our spot before we miss our opportunity. We got two more exercises, and we're going to be using the cable machine for both of them, right? One core, one glute. Let me see. I might need to tilt this up a little bit. Or back up. There we go. All right, let me grab my water, chat. And then we'll get straight into it. We got another rotational core movement. And then we have some cable kickbacks, which I'm very curious to see what I look like doing those, because for some reason I feel like I'm definitely doing those wrong. So again, your feedback, please. That's what I'm looking for. All right, we're gonna lower this all the way down. I'm gonna remove this. And for the core exercise, we're gonna rotate. We're not even gonna put any attachment onto this thing. We're gonna just straight up rotate. So 1 minute on the clock. You definitely want to make sure that you're holding this thing super tight, because the last thing you want is for this thing to go flying in your face. "20 more seconds, chat. Then we get a 10-second rest and move on to the other side." All right, chat, take a break. That one is a killer. It may not look like it. All right. Let's go to the other side. Actually, I think. All right. Make sure you rotate, chat, in all your training. That's what Pete taught me. If you don't know who Pete is, he's basically the best coach in the entire world. And I could say that as somebody who trains and as a global citizen and has trained with people from all over the world at this point. You should definitely go follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is Brooklyn Train Me. 15 seconds, chat. Whew. My hand. All right. Station 9 complete. Chat, if you're just joining, we're training for Pakistan. Drop where you're tuning in from in the chat. Drop a peach emoji for Booty Day. All right, today is Booty Day. And for our last station, we are going to be doing some cable kickbacks. This is one of the most popular glute isolation movements I've seen from my research, right? Because I do research what I should be doing, and I have done some glute isolation research. I'm not just winging it out here. Everything is planned strategically. But I'm just not sure if I'm doing, for some reason I feel like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it 100% correct. Mm-mm. All right. And I know that there are variations to this. Let me check the weight. This might be too heavy. Yeah, that's too heavy for me for now. All right, we're going to go to 5 kg just because I'm a booty beginner. So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to step back. Let me check the clock. All right, we got 1 minute on the clock. So I'm not sure if I should be bringing my leg up further. I want to target the upper glutes, right? That's what I'm looking for. Maybe slight bend in the knee. So I don't want to push through the lower glute. I just want to focus on the upper glute and building that shelf. So chat, I really need your feedback on this. What can I be doing better? And I know there are variations to this where you cross your standing leg over. I've tried that. It just felt so wrong. So maybe next booty day, we'll give it a try. All right, that's a minute, chat. Take your 10-second break. We'll move on to the left side. All right, let me strap in. This side, I might be better on this side because I am a lefty. So let's see. All right, 1 minute on the clock starting now. On this side, it's much harder for me to hold with both arms. "20 seconds, chat." And then we made it. And then we made it to our well-deserved stretch. Last one, chat. Oh. Station 10 done. Let's move back to our mat where we started. Chat, we made it. We fucking made it. We made it through day four training for Pakistan. Gonna finish off with a little stretch, and then I'll clean up. I'll end the stream and I'll clean up. Always clean up after yourself in the gym, chat. That's something I'm really big on, right? That is gym etiquette. I've seen people just leave things a mess. Always clean up your stations at the gym. It's like my pet peeve when people don't have gym etiquette. I can't fucking stand that. It's so fucking rude. And I'll be cleaning up my stations in the back as well. I think it might rain today. I mean, Thailand's been getting some heavy rain warnings, but I gotta drive. I got an appointment. Chat, we earned this stretch. We really earned it. I might go check out a new gym today on Soi Thayad. Those of you who know Thailand and know Phuket, you guys know what Soi Thayad is. It's the famous fitness street here in Thailand. To be honest, I actually try to stay away from that street because could be unpopular opinion, but like I said, not really impressed with the training here. And on that street, it just seems like, just my personal opinion, everybody's doing the same thing with the same equipment. But there's this new massive gym that opened, and I'm curious, just using it for the open gym, if they have all the equipment that I need, if I would like training there, because you know, this gym that I'm at now, it's not my favorite. You could tell it's not so aesthetically pleasing. Not that that matters, right? I'm here to train. I'm not here for aesthetics. And they have everything that I need equipment wise, which is for the most part, which is the most important. I just need to have my equipment. But I'm just curious. I'm gonna go check it out because I have an appointment today on Soi Thayad. So I'm curious. I'm also curious what time the open gym is, because with a lot of these gyms that do classes, the open gym is only at certain times when they're not doing classes, and that just doesn't work for me. I need to just be able to go to the gym when I want. I can't plan my day around when the open gym is free. So that's important. But I think I might check it out. It looks really sick. Like, it looks like a sick ass gym. Um, so I'm kind of in the market for a new gym at this point because I'm getting bored here. It's also, this gym is also convenient for me because it's close to where I live, but I don't live too far from Soy Tayed. I used to go to Stay Fitness in Rawai, and I love that gym. I love that gym so much, but it's minimum a 30-minute motorbike ride for me. I used to go there at 4 in the morning to train when I had my other job, and it was like 25 minutes, but at 4 in the morning, there's no traffic. I didn't mind. I didn't mind driving there, and it was on the way to work. But I won't be going at 4 in the morning now that I have the lifestyle that I do, right? So I'll be sitting in a lot of traffic. So that being said, I'm open to a really nice gym on Soy Tayed. I know it'll be expensive, but since I'm going to be there today, I'm going to try to get there early and go check it out. All right, chat, let me see if we got anything. All right, chat, that's it for day 4 of training for Pakistan. Thanks for joining me. Tune in tomorrow for day 5. We're going to do cardio again, and that will conclude our first week of training, right? So let's keep holding ourselves accountable, chat, and continue with me on this journey to train for the most ambitious trip of my entire life. See you tomorrow, chat.